Hey Dad, what are you making?
On today's episode, we're using the cheat code Instapot, making Hamburger Helper from scratch, not from the box. This truly can be a one-pot meal. Heat up your Instapot on Sauté function with about 1 or 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then get started on the prep. There's not a ton here. We're going to cut up the onion into a big dice. Then, once your Instapot is hot and the oil is bubbling, go ahead and put in about 1.5 pounds of either ground turkey or hamburger down. We're using ground turkey, which this is 85% lean. Then once you've dropped it in there, go ahead and prep your onion again. This recipe is perfect during the holidays when you want something hearty and wholesome but don't want to spend a ton of time making it. The Instapot is a secret to getting great flavor quickly. You're not going to get a deep sear here, but just get it in there and then stir it around. And then give it some salt and some pepper as well. Every minute or so, give it a good stir just to break up that meat. Then, when you finish cutting your onion, you can give it one more stir to make sure it's no longer pink. Since there's not a ton of prep here, go ahead and open your tomatoes and get them ready because this recipe comes together really quickly. Now that the meat's no longer pink, we can go ahead and add our onions. Bring those in and stir them in. Then comes a couple more ingredients. Another cheat code, which is the garlic paste here. I'm using that to speed it up, as well as some garlic granules. I want to bring a lot of that flavor through. I'm doing about a tablespoon of the garlic. Then we're going to also do about a teaspoon of onion powder too. Once it's all in there, go ahead and then give it a stir as well. Like I mentioned, there's not a ton here to do, so go ahead and get your ingredients ready to drop into the Instapot. Keep stirring it to make sure that you get everything stirred in and mixed nicely. Now we're ready for the tomato paste. Put about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half in here. Stir that in and let it brown a little bit. Then our next ingredient is a key one. Let's put about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce in here. Then comes our next ingredient. We're going to put a can of fire roasted tomatoes in here and then stir those in as well. Last few ingredients before we turn on the pressure cooking. We're going to put our pasta in and then we're going to put our chicken stock on top of it to make sure that we cover it entirely with that chicken stock. Our last cheat code is we're going to use the Better Than Bouillon beef base. That way we can add a little bit of that flavor of beef since we only put turkey in here. Give it one more stir, make sure those noodles are covered, and then we're going to put the top on. Put the lid on and then put it to the sealing mode. And then go ahead and start your Instapot. Put it on about 6 minutes and then get it started. Now, once the pressure is set on the Instapot, go ahead and do our last couple of prep items. We're going to shred about 2 cups of sharp cheddar here. We want the fresh stuff again. We want it to melt really well. This last part is optional, but adds a little bit of crispiness to all that pasta. You can melt some butter and we're going to put some panko crumbs in there to brown them. While that's melting, go ahead and go back to your cheese and keep shredding that. Again, we want about 2 cups here, so let's go ahead and make sure that we take care of that and then check our butter and come back to our cheese. Once the butter is melted, go ahead and put about a cup of panko breadcrumbs in there. Get them tossed in that butter and make sure that they start to toast nicely. Keep moving them around to make sure that they start to brown up. We want just a light golden brown on these. Then, once your Instant Pot finishes its cycle, go ahead and vent it. We want to make sure that we just quickly vent this out, so be careful, it's pretty hot. As you can see, there's a ton of steam, but what we'll notice is it's still bubbling, and we need to then finish it with our cheese and then make sure that everything gets stirred and mixed in together. You might be wondering, why did I shred my cheese onto parchment paper? Here's why. Because you can easily transfer it into the Instant Pot. Alright, we're down on the final ingredients. I'm going to use a little bit of American cheese here. This is natural American cheese, but it helps with the melting process and really makes everything smooth and creamy. Once everything's in there, give it a good stir. We want to make sure that cheese gets all nice and melted up. And then we're going to have a couple of final steps just to make sure that's even more creamy. And this is with our last ingredient. I'm putting about a quarter cup of heavy cream in here. And then we're going to mix that in, and you see that it starts to get really nice and luscious. Then give it a taste for seasoning. In my case, we need to add a little bit more cracked pepper. Now, it's time to plate it up. Let's go ahead and get it out and into the bowls. Now, for our final pop of color, a little bit of flavor, I'm going to chop some fresh parsley. Now, doesn't that look delicious? And it only took 30 minutes to make that. If you want to, add that panko on top. It's going to add a nice crunch. I hope you give this a try, and we'll see you next time on Dad, What Are You Making?